I'd like to get started with the meeting. A couple minutes behind, so I'd like to say big wish to everyone for showing up today. And I know weather's changing. It's getting a little colder out there, so I'd like to say thank you for coming today. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 9:21 a.m. Alan, want to do roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. District 1.
Here.
District 2 is still on medical leave, I believe. District 3.
Here.
And I'm here, Mr. Chairman.
Big which we have a quorum. Next up is review and approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, for clarification under new business, renewable energy, I've asked White Clay Industries, Total Spectrum, and them to be here today to provide that update. Also, I do know they want to present an analysis, financial analysis contract, or letter of engagement, I should say, to the RBC to consider. I know there's been constraints in the timeline, there's been discussion around it, but I did ask them to bring that forward today as well, under renewable energy.
Okay. Big which. All right, motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Ray, second.
Mr. Chair, if I may
Oh,
add.
I'm sorry, Annie.
I'm getting a lot of questions on the powwow in November, and I didn't know nothing about it, so if we can have a little discussion on that. Some elders are reaching out to me and have some concerns. I don't know when you want to do that, but.
Okay, we could put it down here somewhere, Annie.
Which?
Okay, thank you.
Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to be able to also talk a little bit about the radio station and what we could do for the RBC.
I think did we look at that contract or whatever that you were trying to get
It's
part
not
of?
necessarily the contract, it's just talking about what we could do as of now, if you guys would allow us.
Okay.
That's okay. I'll do it.
All right, motion to approve the agenda
With the changes?
with the changes.
Motion.
Motion by Annie, second.
I thought I made a motion, Mr.
Oh,
Chairman.
motion by Raven, sorry. You're way down here.
No.
Seconded. Alan?
Alan.
Alan, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Big which. Next up is approval of the meeting minutes for 7/16 of 21, 8/26 of 21, 8/30 of 21, and 9/24 of 21.
Mr. Chair, I do have a couple of clarifications for 9/24/21 on page 11 of 12. It's towards the back of the packet. Under the title, Esther Ames Update Wabanishkiki. Second paragraph down, it says Alan brought a request forward for having $1 million set aside for elder homes. That was Annie. Annie brought forward that request. So I do want to make that recommended change. And then also a point of clarification on page 7 of 12 on 9/24/21. Carryover from page 6 of 12. Under a meeting went into executive session. Currently reads, and it's very garbled language. And I am going to clarify the exact language that was discussed. So Alan received an email from Ms. Tracy Lotka, and if we're going to move forward related to renewable energy and the contract payment, Alan would like to remind Ms. Lotka and Ms. York of the articles for ordinance number 165. Any direction that goes against established law is unlawful, and as the treasurer is compelled to tell you that we must go through with the payment accordingly. There's added language in here that is not accurate. Currently reads, Lori was out of the room. Curtis informed Lori about the approval of the payment for the contract. As I recall, Ms. York did enter the room, so I'm requesting that be corrected. So the next sentence should read, is unlawful, and as the treasurer is compelled to tell you that we must go through with the payment accordingly. Any deviation from the approved policy and process will be reported to the RBC, full stop. Yes. That is the correction. And I will submit these changes to the recorder.
Good.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Tito.
is there a chance we could get a copy of the minutes? We never get them.
Why aren't you the first? No.
You want like a hard copy, Tito?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have the girls work on it over there, so.
These are approved today, so I'll get them on the website and then I'll make you a copy too.
Pardon me?
Just she'll put them on the website. When these get approved today, we'll put them on the website, but she'll get you a hard copy.
We don't, I don't go on the website.
Yeah, but she'll get you a hard
But
copy.
if you get me a hard copy,
And get it to her now during the meeting so that we don't have, she doesn't have to wait till she's home reading in the evening.
But we have to approve these first, so.
I'm sorry, Tito.
thank you.
I'll motion to approve the minutes as with the changes.
Motion by Annie to approve the meeting minutes for 7/16/21, 8/26/21, 8/30/21, and 9/24/21 with the changes. Motion by Annie,
I'll second.
second by Alan, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Big wedge. Next up are the monthly reports for the officers, and I go first. And, you know, like I said earlier, you know, it's been a tough month, and, you know, I know that, I'm just coming off my COVID quarantine, and, you know, I really appreciate all the prayers out there, and
Love it.
appreciate the, you know, checking in on me once in a while. So, you know, other than that, you know, it was business as usual. You know, I know that we, as council, you know, we're working hard to get programs in place. I know that we're still working on the Detroit Lakes project, and I know that we're still working on different other projects out there that are going to be beneficial to our membership that will help them. I know that it's getting cold. I know the elders are here to speak, to talk, and I know there's a lot of different programs out there for rental assistance and heating assistance, and you know, I know I've been getting more and more calls from our elders across our reservation for a little fixing up projects that they request from me to help them with anywhere from, you know, doors like so their wheelchairs can go over doors to, you know, fixing part of their roofs or fixing, you know, just little things like that makes a big difference for them. And of course, you know, as council, we approved you know, elders fund here, but I think we're still in the planning stages of that. And so I know that it's the change in the seasons, and our elders, of course, our elders are top priority for not only in my office, but I think all of council too, so I know that I put that at front of the, my list when it comes to our elders that reach out to me, so I want to say big wish to the elders, and also, it's just like, I know that we have some, some coming into the fall here, and, one thing that today we have to take a break around 11 o'clock, I have to testify, with Congress today on the House of Natural Resources on line 3, so we'll take a little break by then. I'll have to step out and do a little 5-minute testimony, so. But I know that being proactive like that and protecting our water is another one of my main priorities to help us, so. I want to say miigwech and thank you, and be safe this fall, so. And also, the big thing that I'm going to tell everyone in this room, if you get COVID, get the infusion. Big game changer. Yes.
How much was it?
I don't know. I just called Sanford, so. You have to call Sanford in Fargo and make an appointment for that, so. So if anyone, your friends, family, anyone gets COVID, get I think it's called a monofilocol antibody infusion. So it's something like the first day, but it's a game changer, so it helps out big time. Yes, Tito.
Also, booster shots are
Yes.
available now
Yes.
at the RBC, old RBC.
Yeah, at the health division. Yeah. Be good. Well, thank you, Alan. You can go next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'm very pleased to hear that you have recovered from COVID. Very pleased to hear that you have recovered from your COVID diagnosis. I know there's a lot of our folks out there that are being affected by this right now, and as the chairman had said, I want to remind folks that the vaccine is available, and we encourage you to get it. I've received both vaccines of Moderna. I've received a booster shot, we just watching out for folks. Mr. Chairman, for the fiscal year 2021, quarter 4, I received from Ms. Lotka last week an update on the finances. I also have an update here from Nick Valentine, the CFO of the Shooting Star Casino. For governmental activities overall year to date from October 1, 2020 to September 30th, 2021, the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2021, combined revenue was $171.8 million and expenditures were $116.8 million. On September 30th, 2021, cash on hand was $92.9 million. However, $36.1 million is considered other governmental funds. $55.2 million of these funds belong to behavioral health, while the general fund was $1.6 million. Collective expenditures during this period were $116.8 million. Other governmental funds were $76.5 million. And the general fund was $19.3 million. Now, these unaudited preliminary numbers are subject to change as the numbers are finalized. For our gaming side, Mr. Chair, from Mr. Valentine, he has stated that consolidated revenue from Monome and Bagley and all other gaming revenue for the fourth quarter, fiscal quarter ending September 30th, 2021 was $31.1 million. Consolidated expenses for the fourth quarter were $21.4 million. Consolidated net income for the quarter was $9.7 million. Monome is at $8.8 million and Bagley is at $906,000. Budget through the fourth fiscal quarter was $83.3 million of revenue and $78.9 million in expenses for a budgeted net income of $11.3 million for the year. However, fiscal year revenue was $17.3 million higher than budget, while expenses were $4.8 million lower than budget, resulting in net income being $22.1 million higher than budget. The Bagley Casino for fiscal year 2021 through the fourth fiscal quarter ending September 30th, 2021 earned $10.1 million in revenue, while expenditures of $7.5 million. Bagley Casino has net income for the year of $2.6 million. Shooting Star Casino cash on hand on September 30th, 2021 was $43.2 million. The cash on hand at the close of the last fiscal year, September 30th, 2020, was $28.8 million. After Shooting Star Casino capital improvement projects, distributions to White Earth RBC, and CARES Act transfers from White Earth RBC cash has increased by $14.4 million. casino profits distributed to the RBC were the highest ever on record at over 15 million for the fiscal year. This is a note from the CFO. Despite a 15% reduction in revenue versus pre-COVID years and the increase in the minimum wage to $16 an hour in March, Shooting Star net income for the fiscal year hit a record level due to a reduction in expenses directly tied to revenue and other expense controls. The frontline Shooting Star Casino team members who have worked through this pandemic period with labor shortages, safety awareness, and quarantines have delivered these great results to the Whitehorse Nation. I want to remind the RBC that these unaudited preliminary numbers are subject to change as the numbers are finalized. Additionally, Mr. Chair, I have met with Nano Tito's here as well with the Council of Elders. We have recently met with the Council of Elders. They are working on the bylaws. They're going to be published for folks to take a look at in the tribal newspaper, among other things. Yes, ma'am.
Correction, you said Council of Elders, it's an Elders Commission.
Yep, we sat down with the Council of Elders to work on the Elder Affairs Commission. Yes, yes. And that is, those are being published in the newspaper for tribal members to take a look at and provide feedback. Also, I did speak with Needs Radio on the possibly assisting the RBC with some of its audio and visual issues that we've been having with YouTube, with connectivity issues in this room specifically. And so she has graciously offered to provide services from Needs Radio. I know Needs Radio has covered the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Tribal Executive Committees for a number of years now. They've done a fantastic job doing so. I think it would be a very good thing to have that same body, which is from our reservation, cover our meetings as well for the great work that they're doing. Also, I did speak with Needs Radio on the importance of our community engagement that we're having revolving around cannabis and renewable energy and broadband and all these other projects that we're working on. And so Needs Radio has been very gracious and offering some ideas and potential discussion points for the RBC to consider. So I do want to thank them for coming out here today and taking time out of their day to meet with the RBC. Pending your questions, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Very good. Okay, we'll go up with the district rep since there's no questions. District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend, and I know it's getting cold. I know we're out putting up plastic. I know they're up in Rice Lake right now putting plastic on windows, so if you need that done, please get a hold of your rep or someone, one of our secretaries or whatnot. You know, our committee council the other night, they had a Halloween hayride. And I myself went attended and I rode the hayride, and it was pretty neat. We went to a little back road and they had quite a few people too there. Some of the little kids were crying and scared. I guess that's Halloween. But anyway, it was pretty enjoyable and I enjoyed the ride myself, and it was pretty neat, so I say my goods to our committee council for putting that on. Our clinic is right now still on hold because of this COVID. And, you know, I asked that, you know, if you don't want to, but to be vaccinated. I'm certainly glad that our chairman right now is recovering from that. I had him on a prayer list. This is really nothing to mess with. I got a constituent right now in Fargo who's been on a ventilator for over a week now, and he's only in his 40s. And he didn't get the shot, he got it. He's out there now and he's struggling for his life. So I say prayers for all those and I ask you to keep them all in prayers. And yesterday, we as a council attended a cedar ceremony. I thought that was very enlightening. It felt very good to do this. It brought our council together. And this is what we need. And this is something that we're going to start looking at more often, because, you know, everybody says that we as a council are disagreeing with everybody, but You know, there has to be some disagreements on the board, but we've got to be able to put our differences aside. And so that's why we had the cedar ceremony yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It was something, you know, I've been to before, but I've never participated. Yesterday I actually participated. It was very stress relieving because the jobs we're in are very stressful, but we wanted these jobs and this is what we're into. As long as we know how to deal with that stress, it's okay, you know. And I don't mind it, but I did enjoy that cedar ceremony yesterday. Last week we met with NIGA chairman and assistant chairman, Ernie Stevens and what's that name? Kevin Lisi. And that's another thing, that's pretty neat. You know, our NIGA chairman is from Wisconsin and vice chair is right here from Minnesota, from the Boy Port, Kevin Lisi. So it's pretty neat knowing that these guys are on our side, but they come and they toured our factory over here where we're gonna have our medical marijuana. Because NIGA not only deals with gaming, they also got money for to put in to help us, and they want to put us on the map by using our programs throughout the nation to other tribes. So we are going to have a meeting with them in another, I think it's coming up next month. But they do got economic development money, and they want to be able to come in and look at our programs because they're very excited what we're doing because we're the only tribe in Minnesota besides Red Lake, but we are a little bit further ahead of Red Lake. So they came here and visit with us and they want to extend their money into us to help us in promoting our different, like our solar, our medical marijuana. And I think this is such a blessing for our reservation because our reservation right now is pretty much on the cutting edge of everything. I mean, these other councils are watching us, looking what we're doing, and it's pretty neat to be sitting at the top of the hill, but things can happen in a quick hurry, so I ask that you be patient with us and work with us. But that's about it for I got, except for our clinic. And I'm getting a lot of questions about our clinic, but with this, like I said, with this COVID, it's holding our clinic up, everything's ready up there, but we got our satellite offices closed. So with that, I say miigwech and enjoy the meeting and enjoy the rest of the day. Oh.
Thank you, Ray. We forgot to approve Alan's financial report, so we'll have to go back to that right now and make a motion to approve Alan's financial report.
Motion.
Motion by Raymond. Second by Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. District 3 is next, thank you.
Good morning, Buju. It's been a busy month. I attended the Pine Point Elders meeting, which was really good. I mean, I enjoy sitting down and listening to the elders. They do have a lot of concerns, which we kind of worked on. Congregate roof, I think Curtis could get an update on that because he was going to check into that for us. Their transportation issues are being worked on till their bus comes in. The building in Pine Point is still up in the air because they're not sure if they're going to move that because of the damage that was done in there or what they're going to do with it yet. But I'm still checking on that. I mentioned to him that we were going to ask. Lori's working on it to have a meeting with IHS. I think Amadio is actually taking the lead on that. I had mentioned that I don't want to meet with the Bemidji area office because they're part of the problem. So we're looking at trying to go higher up, and we will invite the elders in for that too, for the meeting, because they're the ones that are, well, we're all suffering, but they do have a lot of concerns, and I mean, it's sad the way things are going right now. They did have questions on the SARA program, and I did talk with Mike Thompson on that, and he is looking at things to try to make it go smoother. And the housing board meeting went well. The housing board is quite new, but they're looking at maybe doing elections every 2 years for the housing board, which I have no problem with. So that might be something coming up. They're gonna meet on the ordinance that the tribal council has and make some recommendations to us to get that changed. And, you know, I'm all for elections if that's, you know, the way the people want to go. So, and I think it's a good idea. That will bring some stuff off us. Yesterday, well, I asked Lori for a retreat for the tribal council. We did it at the Rediscovery Center. Didn't cost no money. The gals cooked for us and it was great. You know, we let out our frustrations. We, you know, had our peace, and I think it was really needed because, you know, as a council, we're here to represent all of you. And we can't do that if we're all on different pages. It was kind of awkward in the beginning, but, you know, once we got talking, everything went good. And we did let out a lot of frustrations, and, you know, we did come up with some good ideas, and we did do the cedar ceremony, which lifted a lot off me. I love that ceremony. But we are looking at doing it once a month before our regular meetings. You know, because we need to come together as a council. Yes, we can agree to disagree, but we need to have discussion on these important issues that affect our members, and I think we all agreed on that, and I want to say miigwech to Lori for setting that up. It was awesome. And another thing, you know, our admin staff never gets recognized, but they're there for us when we can't be there. So I encourage everybody, you know, to reach out to our admin staff because they do a lot of the frontline work for us. Because we got bigger issues, so they're there, you know, taking care of our people just as much as we do. So, miigwech to all of you. We've got the Haunted Woods in Ogama, I think is Thursday night. And that's an awesome thing. You guys just gotta go there. If you have little kids, take them. It's awesome. Then we got the drive-through Thursday and Friday. And that's out on Strawberry Lake, or Strawberry, yeah, the Christian retreat. That be Thursday and Friday night. And I'm gonna be part of that, so I hope to scare some of you. But it's gonna be fun. Tonight is pumpkin coloring. Well, they're gonna do paints at the White Earth Community Center from 5 to whatever time, and they will have prizes for first place, second place, and third place, I do believe. And then tonight, this is really exciting to me. Curtis was given a drum, and they're gonna start teaching our younger boys the ways around a drum. My 9-year-old is so excited. He's been talking about it ever since I told him, and you know, that's something we need for our kids. Yesterday it was mentioned that one of the ladies could do teachings for young girls, and I think we need to get that going too. Because, you know, once they know our teachings, I think that their hearts will be full. That's my belief anyway, but there is a lot going on, so get involved if you can. I mean, it's for our youth, it's for our elders, and you know, that's what we're all here for. Miigwech.
Thank you, Annie.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you an update on our homeless housing. If you look over there by the chip factory, we got a new building coming up over there for our for our homeless. And as soon as that's done, we hope to have that done here within the next month and a half. We can start using it. The house is already there. The old Weimer place is already being used for families. I think there's 3 families in there right now that are utilizing that. And we are in the process of looking into getting into this hotel down in Detroit Lakes, but right now that city attorney is kind of giving us a tough time. But he's trying to make us jump through jump hoops while we can make them jump through hoops also. So we hope to have that up and running here within the next month and a half. And it's a 60-room hotel where we can now have a place for our homeless, and we're going to set it up for at least a 6 to 7 month stay there for the winter months. So once they're in there, All they ask is that they abide by the program rules and what's going on in there and join in on what's going on. So that's just a little update on our homeless, and still got the one in Bagley, but that one is only for 7 days. I know that isn't much, but our need is there for it. So we are working on getting that done also, and hopefully once we get this hotel acquired, we will start moving people in within the next month and a half here, we hope. It was supposed to be done by now, but city attorney, like I said, is from down there, is trying to throw a wrench in things because they don't want a homeless shelter down there, but we can run it as a hotel and we can get by with it just like we're doing in Bagley. But Miigwech.
Thank you, Ray. Next up is the elders. You wanna, Eldon, get that mic to Tito, so we're good.
Miigwech, and good morning, everybody. I wish that the council would start the meetings as we used to do with a prayer, because that's how we always started our meetings off, was to pray, so that we gathered together. And Ray talked about unification. That's part of it. So we should have, Merlin Deegan should have been here to begin our meeting with that prayer. But, okay, as elders will go into, we talked with Bowman, Mike, his, about road repair. When we picked up one of the ladies that come up here today, her road is horrible. It's horrible now. And you think about winter. I mean, she's been asking for help for the last, 2 years? 3 years. 3 years. It's, we don't ask for ourselves. It's our elders out there that, the ones in most need. And that's what we were looking at. Some of the homes, like hers, if an ambulance went up there, if she needed one, it would be a real struggle when the snow starts. So I want to make sure that you look at road repair in any of your programs or grants that you're making. The second thing I'd like to talk about is we had our elections at our last meeting. Now, there was some rumors out there that we didn't have the elections correctly. Yes, we did. We went according to our bylaws, and we had an elder committee, a voting committee. So that was all a process. It came down to we were re-elected. I'm re-elected for 2 years. Sam is re-elected. Colleen Blattenbauer, our treasurer, was re-elected. And we got a new secretary, Pam Aspinwall. So just for your information, and if anybody's interested in going over our bylaws, it was all done according to the bylaws. And we do try to reach out and talk to and get information throughout the reservation. You know, it's very difficult to, when we're making plans, just like when we talked about the meetings that are coming up. I asked Ray if he would look at the northern end of the reservation so that that part could be taken care of. If there's not a majority of people that would come up there or are interested in coming to the meeting, we have a car. It only can take 4 people in it. But we said we'd be willing to help there if there's not a whole lot of people, we could send that car up there. We got the transit coming to White Earth on Thursday and Friday from here. And Dan Creed is the driver. We already made those reservations, so we can come and attend the TEC meeting. So if anybody's interested in attending the TEC meeting on Thursday and Friday, from this end of the reservation, the northern, then catch the transit at 8:15, either at the Congregate Building or Bimagisiwan. So that transportation is available. And when we did the voting, Tony's here, she was the head of that committee, so it was done properly.
I have some remarks to make on that.
Okay.
Usually have our elections in December. My question is, why did we have the elections that day? I guess I was just, it was about that.
Okay, because there was no other nominations,
Well,
and they voted to close the nominations. And just,
so there wasn't actually any voting done at all.
yes, it was.
What,
It was.
what did we vote on?
Voted on re-electing the council that was in place, and the new one was Pam Aspinwall. And you did vote, Tony. So it was all done in a proper way. If anybody, like I said, anybody wants this position, they can have it. It doesn't pay a whole lot.
They can have mine too.
Yeah.
They can have mine.
And Colleen said that too, they can have hers. But we're willing to do this again for another 2 years. So any other questions, come to the meetings. They're always open to everyone. The meeting for November is the 2nd. I believe it's always the first Tuesday of the month. So anybody is welcome to attend. About that meeting next month, it's supposed to be in Natawash. However, the cook up there had surgery, and Kat was gonna find out for me if we could still have the meeting there. If not, we would go to Rice Lake. We follow our schedule. So it will either be in Natawash or Rice Lake. And if you want to get the update and come there, you can call me. My number is always in the paper. I put it in there for questions or whatever. Any questions on that, or I'll continue on? Our new bus, we're still waiting. Kurt tells me it's going to be a while yet. And it's all because of these shipments that aren't coming in. And we understand there's a little chip or something that is holding up this bus. So that may be a whole year again. Our elder commission, which Ellen talked about, that will be on by resolution, would be elders representing the reservation in all districts and urban areas. But like Ellen said also, that information will be out to the public to make comments on. And then hopefully we can get that finalized and get it going. Our suggestion was that each district appoint a person to this board until the next election, because it's been gone on so long. But just to get it going, they will make make their appointments. And then, it will be on a regular ballot after that when the next election comes up. I believe that's for chair and, is that your district, Ray? Next time? District 1. So we hope to get that right on the ballot then. But again, all that information will be published. Tablets, we were given 10 tablets for elders, and we were waiting for the covers for them. I understand the covers are in now, so we can set up a meeting, which will be probably next week. And any time you deal with like a few items, you're always going to get people that say, oh, this one is getting it, that one's getting it, because they're selective. That's not the case. We hope to get more in the future and fill those needs of others that have been asking for them. Kurt, I think, told me there's going to be some more coming in. So hopefully everyone, or not everyone, anyone that's active around the reservation to use those can have one. With the 10 we got, we are using criteria because we don't want them abused. We're going to register them and have it, them all signed out first, plus some training. So we're doing this in a good way. We have been planning for our Christmas party, which will be Elder Christmas party, excuse me, which will be December 17th. Yeah, at the White Earth Community Center. There's a lot of planning that goes into this because we're looking at 400 people, 400 elders throughout the reservation that come to our events like this. So, you know, in order for us to provide them with maybe a $10 gift card, if we can get some cooperation from other places, we want to put that as a gift for them. At $10, that'll be about $6,000 for 400 people, right? 4,000, I'm sorry. So we did write letters to each community council, hoping that they'll pitch in maybe $500. And our elder council will help make up the rest. But we're doing a lot to do with the gifts. We do the decorations, all that kind of stuff. So any questions, call me or Kat or Sam. Annie's gone out now, but we're very concerned about our clinic at White Earth. A lot of people aren't getting service or they're leaving it. This was a treaty clinic, and all of a sudden we're having to pay for everything. You know, when we walk in there, they're asking what kind of insurance you got. If you don't have insurance, then you damn well better get it, because you aren't going to get the service. Contract dollars, they say they're going to pay some small bill, and they're getting their taxes taken. Many people have come back and said they were waiting on their taxes at the end of the year, and the clinic takes them for an unpaid bill. We were reassured by Maria that this wouldn't be happening again, that some kind of arrangement could be made, or that they would look at insurances first and then payment after that. It shouldn't be that much. I don't know where all that money's going. But we're being hurt by it, especially our elders, when they need care and aren't able to get it. Dental is a big problem, and when you have bad teeth, that affects your whole body. COVID, we're very concerned there. I went and got my booster shot yesterday. It didn't hurt. So if you need that booster shot, 55 and up on the reservation. Other places it's 65 and up, but they're doing 55 here. So, you know, they'll be doing it down at the old RBC building. Flu shots too, you should be getting those because it's the season for that now. We've been working with housing and help with different concerns we've had, and that's been going okay. Cedar ceremony, we certainly would like to go. I've been through cedar ceremonies, and they're wonderful. You know, I'd like to see it made available to us all also. The congregate roof, we just hear that all the time, that it's going to be fixed. And what has it been, 2 years again? The congregate roof, we need the plastic on homes now, not in February again. So whatever, you know, programs are out there to help, I wish they would get started now. I hear Ray's got it going in Rice Lake, but we've heard nothing in White Earth, and we keep asking. We go to, when an elder reaches out and says, a tree has fallen, can somebody come and help me get this out of here, cut up or something? We can't even get that done. So, you know, I just wish, we're elders, we need that help. When we ask for it, please. And again, we're looking out for all the elders of the reservation, not just simple few. It's ones that call us from wherever. Hell, we get calls from all over, and from Oregon and other places. And all I can do is refer them back to the RBC. So, do you have anything, Sam, that you want to add?
I'm Sam Crowe, Vice Chairman of the White Earth Elders Council. I want to just enlarge on some of the things Tito talked about here, the road repair. Mike Bowman and I talked 5 years ago about fixing roads. Some of them got fixed in Pine Point. A lot of them weren't even elders, they got fixed. Mine was supposed to have been fixed 5 years ago. Yesterday, I just spent $200 for 5 loads of gravel to be delivered in. And I spent half the night, or late evening and part of the night last night, leveling it off with a rake. These elders need this. Last year, I put gravel on there and they plowed snow. The guy come in with no shoes on his snowplow and pushed it all in the ditch or out on my lawn. This is where the problems come in. Our sewer and water. I've been on the list for sewer and water for 4 or 5 times. I've got a letter in my papers here. Betsy Smith took me off the list again, 1st of October, because I couldn't not have the property in my name. I've got the papers that said the tribal court gave me ownership of that property to do whatever I want with it. But it's not good enough for Becker County, don't recognize the court, and White Earth's lady in charge, Betsy Smith, seems to say she can control it, one way or the other, can kick people on and off that list. I'd like you to check into that. Then we've got the plastic that Ray was talking about. Last year, we had a meeting, and we asked about it. They put somebody in charge. I don't know who it was, but she said all the plastic was in her garage, but she couldn't get anybody to put the plastic up. Now, my suggestion to her at that time is you have programs that in the wintertime, fisheries, DNR, natural resources, they don't do a whole lot in the wintertime. They pay, I don't know if they put their people on unemployment or not, but those people who work doing that. This is not an insurmountable problem, but it seems to be. With a lot of the right hand not knowing what the left hand doing. We've got to have some of these things taken care of for elders. I get calls all the time about elders. The clinic, like she said, you just can't get service there. I had to go through Pat Butler, White Earth Health, get some stuff done for an elder that called me about chemotherapy. They cut him off on chemotherapy because White Earth refused to pay their third of the bill. 35% wasn't getting paid, so they get cut off from chemo. Want to be put on hospice and put them on hospice and stuff so they could get taken care of. This is ridiculous. These are our elders. This was supposed to have been guaranteed through our treaty rights. Where'd they go? Other than that, the housing problem, we've been working on housing, and Dennis and I talked, and Annie and a lot of people, Mike and Alan. We need some immediate help with this housing. Winter's coming, and there's going to be another winter with houses that 3 or 4 houses in Pine Point. The guy's got blue plastic on his roof, been that way for 3 years, an elder. 70-some years old. This is just not acceptable for our elders. This isn't how we take care of our elders. Thank you.
Just another thing too, I want to thank Maggie for, sorry, I said your nickname, but, Maggie brought a group of students, college students, down from Notre Dame. And some of us elders visited with them at the congregate and did a little history and culture and tradition kinds of things with them. But this group of elders went to a group of college students, went to a couple homes. That was only the time we had allotted, and helped remove some leaves and stuff. They would have done more if we had the equipment. They didn't have rakes or anything to repair, like a hanging, those water things that need to be put back up or something like that. Gutters, I guess they're called. But they were such a good group, and I really applaud Maggie for bringing them to us. We had a very nice time, and they were such a well-mannered group. So we thank you, Maggie, for doing that.
Oh, I don't need the mic, I speak loud enough. I used to work for Mystic Lake Casino. They had a public works department, and we would, and that's where I worked. And when anything like what you were saying, when a tree would fall down, something like that would happen, they would send us out, and we would take care of that. We took care of the parks, and anytime anything happened to any of the elders, we would get sent up there and we would address their problems or whatever their issue was. And I think that would be a really great thing. I think that'd be a good thing if they could hire a small group of guys, to do these things. I don't even know if the Red Series even has a small group of guys that are people that go out and clean the parks up and go out and address, like you were saying, logs or something, a tree might be down or whatever else might be the deal.
Well, I did. I called all over for this lady and the tree's still laying there. She don't know if it luckily fell between those two posts with her water and sewer. We don't know if there's damage or not. You know, those kinds of things that are immediate. You know, what do we do when we call and ask for assistance and it's not there?
I know, like, when Bryce's tree fell down, maintenance came, took it off for them. So that might be a little contact burden in the maintenance, maybe one of the council can,
We called all over there too.
yeah, because I know they got rid of that tree that fell there. Now some of the storm came.
Does, council, is there anything like that you know of that is put together for elders?
So I was just gonna say, Tito and I and Annie and Sam, we were meeting last week on this very issue, and we requested Bowman come tomorrow and present, we were actually discussing this thing last week, and we did request Mr. Bowman, the public works, come out here tomorrow and present a resolution where they can have a crew on standby that can actually go out there and do this sort of work, right? And I know another issue, not only trees, is these leaves. Like Tito and Sam were saying, a lot of our elders, they can't get on the roofs to remove those leaves out of the gutter. And so luckily, you know, some kids from Notre Dame helped the other day, but we don't have kids from Notre Dame around out all the time. So hopefully we can maybe expand that resolution from just, you know, leaves to expand it to, you know, maintenance, general maintenance that you're talking about, Todd. I think that would be good. I think we were talking about that just last week.
Kind of an emergency.
Yeah.
And thank you, Todd, for, but we do need somebody we can reach out to. We call all over to every department and they all say, talk to this one or that one, and we don't get anywhere. That's where, you know, we need a contact person.
They should put you in charge of running these small crew of guys, because you know a lot of the issues to address.
They wouldn't want me there long. But, I mean, that's part of the thing they'll call my house. And I'm willing to make the calls to whoever, but I need somebody that's gonna actually follow through.
And this is where that elders commission that we're talking about, this is exactly what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
When we get a call, this will go to them and that will go to the RTC and so on, the chain of command.
Cool.
But what you were talking about, a tree falling on a house.
That's an immediate need.
The building out in Pine Point where the CHRs are there only 5 days a week. The tree fell on that, and the next day they had a crew out there putting a whole new roof on that building. Now that same crew could be, you know, if they could do that for just that one building there where nobody lives in it, they just go there and get their cars and take care of stuff.
I'm Patty Straub. I have a suggestion that maybe the tribe, they have the day labor program. Maybe they could have a crew set up in each, you know, community and maybe rotate that so everybody has, you know, can work on that, you know, to help in situations like that. That wouldn't be too difficult, I don't think, so that, you know, people could get the necessary help.
I just like.
And we do try to use day labor, but again,
I don't think that would be a good idea though, because back when I was doing that line of work, we had to be trained in on chainsaws, we had to be trained in on special equipment. We couldn't just have somebody green going out there with certain tools and not knowing what to do with them.
But that would fall under that.
Thank you for mentioning that, Todd. That's, our day labor program is up and running, but the problem is we don't have enough supervisors to oversee in different communities. We only got one person now working with day labor, and they are pretty busy. And so if we could get people just to come in and act as supervisors on the day labor program, that would really help. And like Todd said, we can't send somebody out with a chainsaw who has no experience with a chainsaw, because if they get hurt, we can't, on our day labor program, we got it so that they sign a piece of paper saying that if they get hurt, that they can't hold the res responsible. Because we're the ones putting the money in for it, and if we gotta put insurance on it, then it's gonna become a very high price to do this. So day labor was set up, I know I used them up in Rice Lake a few times to put up a fence around our cemetery, one in Pine Bend. They work fine for this, but when it comes to even a lawnmower, anything that's motorized, it's hard for these day laborers to use these because they're motorized, and if they happen to get hurt, then where does it fall back on? It falls back on us, the council. So we are working on that and seeing what we can do to improvise on our day labor program. But I agree, I myself am gonna bring forward a deal there where we can get an electrician on board, a plumber, not working solely with the tribe, but on a contract basis, like if something happens with his plumbing, we can call this guy and he can go up. So we don't have to beat around the bush looking for all these different places. I got electrician in mind already who is looking for work. I've used him on some jobs already, but right now he is looking for work, and I would like to bring him on as a reservation-wide electrician, because a lot of our elders do need, not only our elders, there's other ones also that need electrical work and whatnot. So I do plan on bringing it to the council here. I thought today was the regular meeting. I was bringing it today. I didn't know today was our end of the month meeting. I would have had it set today, but I thought that was tomorrow. But anyway, this is some of the stuff that we are working on. And yeah, like Todd said, the day labor program, we can't just send them in to do this, that. As long as it's got a motorized, like chainsaws, weed whackers. I mean, these are all, whether you believe it or not, they're all dangerous if they're not used in the right way. My goodness.
But does maintenance, they would be equipped.
Yeah, maintenance can, but right now, it's either we got awful lot of job openings. We don't.
70.
We've got a lot of job openings that aren't being filled. And right now, we're hurting in pretty much every department. Why they're not putting in, that's beyond me. The jobs are there, we're just not getting the people, and each one of our departments right now are hurting because we don't have enough people in there working them, but the jobs are open. So as soon as we can get them open, but I know our departments are very stretched, very thin. And I know they do catch heck, and sometimes I call them, but I do call them and apologize for getting on them because I know they are stretched thin and they're doing what they can to keep up with what's going on.
You talked about supervisors. I don't know, Mike, how are your people? You got, are they CSOs in each community? Is there a way you could incorporate them into kind of keeping an eye on the people if somebody's out there working or something?
Yeah, we could do that, but what my suggestion would be to collaborate the day labor program with the divisions, so you don't have to use all the divisional people that are working and pull them away from their jobs. You'd use one supervisor from your division or somebody who can supervise, take the day labor program guys and go out there with them, just like Sam is saying. That would be cost effective, and it would probably, or not cost effective, but it would be good to do it that way, because then you wouldn't be pulling a whole division out there to do that. And that's what normally happens. You'll pull people off of their jobs that they're doing to go out and do that, when they can pull just one guy from that division and take 3 day labor guys and go out there. The other thing about the safety aspect of it, when you do day labor, you should get credentials from the people that are doing day labor. Because there is a lot of people out there that know how to run a chainsaw. There is a lot of people that know how to do that. Get credentials from them before they go out there, so you know that they're able to do that kind of stuff. But it has to be coordinated. That's the problem. Who runs day labor right now?
Sandy Shapequick.
Okay. That's got to be coordinated. I think it's got to be coordinated with the divisions, and even our CSOs and our navigators that would be able to do that. The plastic stuff too. It's coordination to be able to get people out there to go do the job. Last year with Kat Thompson and her crew, when we went cleaned all these elders' yards, that was coordination. We need more of that. We need more coordination between the divisions
in the day labor program and get them out there to get the job done.
And using the navigator, I did use our navigator up there, but he did catch a lot of beef over that because they said, oh, how many jobs do you want to have? So I kind of took him away from it because I didn't want him catching all this beef over, and he shouldn't have been because he was just put into a supervisor position and right away they jumped all over him, well, he don't do his job over here and he don't do this. So I would prefer not to use our navigators because they are there for a purpose. Like I said, if we could just get people to step forward and work day labor at the same time, but actually act in a supervisor position at the same time. But yeah, like Mike said, coordination is more what we got to get into and get on to it. Because I know our day labor is working. We already went through money and we just refunded it again. So it is a good program and other reservations have tried it. It's failed and here we are. We're already putting money into it again and so it is working.
Mr.
Chair, if I may?
The elders should have to call 60 numbers to get something done. They should be able to call one number, that's the coordination part of it. Coordination part of it where they can call one number and they would put them in touch with what they need.
So it's my understanding, so Mike Thompson is in charge of both the weatherization and also day labor. It is my understanding that that is occurring. What I'm thinking is that there's miscommunication between some of the elders that need it and they're unaware of which elders need it or where they need to go. So I did ask Mike for an update. Says they're done with Nadawash, Minoman, and Rice Lake. They're currently out in Elbow Lake, and then they're going to White Earth and Pine Point next. And they do have a weatherization and window wrapping policy procedures in place because we want to make sure that it's sustainable and ongoing. So what I'll do is have a report to you on that exact process, but it sounds like they're going into each of these communities right now and currently working on it.
Can Mike Thompson call me and I can give him that name? That lady's still waiting.
Yeah. So with the tree, we can contact forestry and we can contact Monica to send somebody out from natural resources to take care of the tree. And I can also talk with Bernie as well, but we'll make sure that those things are addressed this week.
I think would make better sense to have each community rep in charge of or hiring somebody to do their own weatherization for their own district, so they ain't put in the back of the line until February to get their plastic. Just a thought.
Yep, that's an excellent idea to have each community have their own coordinated group.
Right.
Which.
Otherwise, Daryl Bellinger is in charge of. I think somebody said he just got hired. Daryl Bellinger is up in the Nadawash complex. That is kind of in charge of that, to do some of the weatherization and stuff like that, so.
Well, that's where we're referring all the requests that come in, because that's what he said in his letter.
Well, and again, our transportation, we only got one vehicle to haul our stuff around in, so we can't, I mean, if we had somebody that could come in and pick up this stuff from each village to go out and help, because right now we only got one vehicle for our day labor to haul the chainsaws and the stuff that they need to work with. So until we can find more transportation, we're going to continue to have this problem unless we can get somebody to pick up that can come in and, you know, say, well, I can haul this plastic, I can take this, I can take that. But right away, what it is they want more money. No, and I don't blame them. If I was to come in and say, okay, I'll haul this on my pickup, yes, of course I would want more. Because I'm the one that's going to put my pickup on the line for it. I'm going to haul all this stuff. So I don't blame them for coming in and asking for more money, but do we got the money appropriated? Well, that's what we're looking at right now and checking out, because we do need vehicles to, and that's why I say, if we can get other people to come in with their pickups, and I would be more than willing to pay them extra to bring their own pickups in and be that supervisor, you know, but that's just it. We don't have the vehicles to get our people out. Only a few of the day laborers got cars that can make it to different vehicles, to different villages.
Well, I got a pickup, but I'm not gonna volunteer it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, see, that's the one
Well,
thing is, people
You
don't
know,
wanna volunteer.
I'm an elder and I have all these other elders calling me too, so I'm taking care of what I can there. I can't be running around to other places.
Plus with your private insurance, I mean, it would go on you if there was an accident.
Well, I got insurance, I'm not worried about that, but it's just the wear and tear too on my stuff. But there we go again, we have a lot on the plate that we bring to you, and I thank you for listening. I thank you for all that you are doing currently. And we're not just coming here complaining all the time. It's just that I'm here to represent the elders and in their needs. So, thank you.
Big which Tito.
I just got Dennis and Ray, housing's got pickups, almost 1 to 2 pickups in every community. They could coordinate with daily labor to.
Yeah, Sam, I think we got a lot of information here from today, and I think that we're going to bring it back. I know that we're gonna meet with Mike Thompson, and all the other programs are gonna, so we're gonna coordinate something, like you said, what we've all been talking about, coordinate something with our programs to get out to these elders that need this assistance for either through plastic on their windows or debris in their yard from trees or other things, so. But Miigwech for your update, and I appreciate it, so thank you. Next up on the agenda is housing. I know Dennis is here, he made it in for his report, so Dennis, you wanna come on up? Miigwech.
I don't think I need a microphone. I'll start with vacants. We have 19 vacants. I'll start with the vacants. We got 19 vacants, 6 in Pine Point, 2 in White Earth, 4 in Nadawash, 1 in Albo, and 6 in Monoman. 3 are being offered out right now in Pine Point. We do have 10 units that are ready to rock and roll. 1 elder unit ready in Nadawash, 1 elder unit ready in Albo. The guys that have been staying pretty busy, I know I've been on them about getting these houses done, but I want to talk about tax 1 out in Pine Point. The income guidelines out there are kind of holding us back on filling the units out there. Just an example, 2 people on Social Security didn't qualify for one of the units out there in tax 1. And you know, I do need some help from the council on reaching out to the state on getting these income guidelines lifted. You know, because at this point, a lot of these houses have been vacant for, you know, a year or 2 now. So, I mean, we're ready just to put people in them and pay the fine, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I know I've been getting a lot of questions about is the unlawful detainer in the housing code. Now, the people that are being evicted for drug dealing and stuff like that found a loophole in the housing code. Unlawful detainer. I understand that everybody needs due process, but you know, if we're serious about cleaning up our communities and these drugs, this is where to start, right here at the housing code. Other reservations do right now board up their units. I don't know why we can't. You know, when it's involved with drugs. But that's something I do need help on also, council, on the housing code. I got a question.
What guidelines do you go through, you know, qualifications? You were just talking about these people, both on social security and they went over the guidelines. Whose guidelines are you going by?
So these are state guidelines when they got the tax credit, program going back in the day. We agreed to follow the Minnesota state guidelines on that front, and that's where I need some help out on tax one because,
You know, because the fact is, the way prices are, everything, meat, groceries, gas, all that, you know, that takes a toll. Even two people on social security, you know, they're having hard times, you know, they go by month, but week to week because of their income, you know, but still, the way prices are, I mean, it's a shame to me a little bit that they don't up the ante a little more on some of these, the income. You know what I mean? And if that's a different route that you can look at or stay with state guidelines, you know?
what housing is trying to do is we're trying to get the state to waive the income guidelines for tax one. So that way we don't have to follow any income guidelines, we can just fill them, come up with a list. Any more questions, I guess, on that front?
I thought the tax ones in Pine Point were bought out by the RBC or housing.
Yep, Raymond James is out of tax one, but for the next 15 years since Raymond James is out, we still got to follow the guidelines with the state.
I don't think that's right. I think you're wrong. That's my opinion.
All right. One thing I didn't want to bring up, I guess, on that front, I've been on numerous phone calls with the state, hoping to get back to the negotiating table with this because this one size fits all for Indian country does not work here at White Earth. I guess moving on, research. I want to talk about why our research are important. That's tied to our funding. So when we don't get a research back, it turns into a audit finding. And that audit finding keeps us from applying for new grants. So it's very important for the low rent people especially to get their research back to us. We send them out 3 months ahead of time. If they need help, they can call the office. One of the ladies will be willing to help them. Where are we at here?
Yeah, I have a little comment on that. Like I had a research twice in 1 year. That was through the staff, not doing their part. It isn't all on the side either. It has to be staff members that do that. So I don't see why I had to do 21 years.
Usually we just ask for one research a year. I'll check into that, Teresa. Tax 3, Raymond James is out at the end of the year, but there again, we still got to follow them guidelines for the next 15 years. We are getting 2 committees together for the housing study. That should be kicking off here shortly. I know Curtis has been involved in that. We're going to be having a meeting in early November regarding elections for the Board of Commissioners. We're going to put a proposal together to change the housing ordinance. Recommend, that you guys change the housing ordinance so we can get these positions elected. Just a quick HR update. We have a grant writer position available. 2 project manager positions available. Yep. Tri-funding, aid, and a cleaner. So if you guys know anybody, send them up our way. I guess that's all I got. If there's anything else?
At one of the previous meetings, I heard someone bring up renters that you've gotten housing that are back way lapse in your payments, their rent payment. Do you have any of that information? Like if somebody 3 months, they haven't paid their rent in 3 months, but they haven't been kicked out. And then somebody else that gets 1 month and they get kicked out. Is there any discrepancies in there?
So we, since COVID, we really haven't been kicking anyone out for non-payment of rent. It's the non-recert that's gonna get them into court for eviction.
But I mean, you do have some that are lax in their payments more than a month.
Great, there's a lot of that. There is assistance with, homeless program, I do believe the same. That'll help them pay, they can go like 15 months, leave, and that'll help them pay some of their back rent also. So if you don't have any tenants or anybody needing help with that, refer them to that program.
I think it's 12 months back.
12 months back, all right. Anybody else, I guess?
I had a question. That D.W. Jones group, does that tie into housing?
No.
It has nothing to do with housing?
No. Good, Mr. Chairman.
Yep, Miigwech, thank you, Dennis, I appreciate your update, so.
Thank you, Chair.
I just got are you guys gonna sign another contract again with that D.W. Jones when their contract, or are we gonna have our own people to take care of our own affairs, or what?
That's a good question, Todd. I know that
I know that-
their contract is probably coming up here. I'm not sure if it's at the end of this month or if it's I think it's the first of the year. So I know that maybe we could RFP it out there for another company to come in to maybe bid on that process.
Please do that.
Process of working with Eugene Summers, our economic development director, is in the process of working with local property management people that we have.
Great. Can you take your mask off?
So we are looking at different property management groups that we have in our area, tribally owned preferably, and looking at the D.W. Jones contracts that we have. Right now, they're looking at the congregate contract that they have, and trying to get a native-owned property management group in there to work with congregate. And then the other D.W. Jones property contracts that they are going through right now and are in the process of moving forward from them.
When are they? Again, did you say?
No, I guess I'm not sure. That would be our economic development director, but he is actively working on it, and I can have him reach out to you and get you those dates.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just have a second.
Yes, Bill.
Mike had some really good ideas, Mr. Mike Rock did it. And I want you all to understand that, yes, a lot of people are trained. I've logged for 50 years myself. I've ran a lot of chainsaws. I've wore out maybe 50 of them. But let me tell you this. My son sits over here. When we go to Becker County to buy a piece of wood, you have to have $1 million liability insurance policy to go in Becker County's woods to cut a tree. $1 million liability policy. So when you're talking about an arborist, a chainsaw, you're talking about high price insurance. I'm talking mega insurance. Because if somebody gets hurt with a chainsaw, it ain't just a scratch. And if you're cutting trees in somebody's yard or off in somebody's house, like you said, Todd, and I agree, it really has to be, that's an expensive. You check with some of these tree operators and they'll tell you, and that's what we carry. We carry $1 million liability policy to go in Becker County's woods. We have to have that just to go bid a piece of wood. So I need you to understand that's a very critical, and maybe forestry can get around that. See, they've got people that are trained by the BIA, check with your forestry people. They've got some very good chainsaw operators. And maybe because they're our own people, it's possible that we can work through some of those issues. There again, anytime you let the state in the door, you're only fooling yourself. They're not, what you're finding out with your motel in Detroit Lakes, they're gonna fight you every step of the way. Becker County's gonna fight you every step of the way. That's like these contracts they made with these law agreements. No. Leave Michael LaRock in charge of our police. He's our police. Becker County can come in here if he calls in for mutual aid, but make that decision Mike's. We call them, they don't call us. Thank you.
Miigwech, Bill, thank you for the information. Okay, next up on the agenda is the community council updates. Is Callaway here? Elbow Lake?
Doesn't have a community council.
Okay,
We should really try to establish one.
thank you, Margaret. Next up is Iron Range. Menomin. Hey, Tawash is here, so.
Tribal Council, thank you for this opportunity to present at the regular meeting. Our sliding hill is coming along nicely and we hope to be able to offer a fun and safe area to slide. Fun and safe area to slide for this winter for everyone. We continue to partner with the Wire Department for other areas like Skate Park and BAB. We also hosted a community giveaway, and we'll do this again next year as well. We are working on a coat drive for our youth. NCC will be busy this upcoming months with Harvest Fest this weekend, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We hope to have another giveaway this fall. You turn the mic up again, nobody can hear you. Listen up here, you're shaking. I don't do well with being put on the spot, so. I'll read this part up again. NCC will be very busy these upcoming months with Harvest Fest this weekend, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We hope to have another giveaway this fall. We have submitted requests on October 14th for our youth. We have never heard anything back yet, and we're wondering if we can, if this could be approved today. We are getting short on time and would really appreciate having access to the funding for our youth. NCC is requesting funding for a new community center, a boxing gym, and in support of the Twin Lakes Fire Department in May. We have put in a few things, we have been putting a few things on hold, waiting to see our requests would be approved. If you could let us know, that would really make a difference. Miigwech, Karen Rodina, Joe Bush, Donovan Burnett, Tara Mason, Heidi Goodwin, and Chris Leslie.
Thank you, Donovan. Miigwech. You know, I know that council, I know Annie had to leave here. I know that we're looking at talking about the fire departments, and I know that we were looking at how we're going to fund the other. I know council can probably jump in too with me here on the other communities. I know Natowash does a lot for their community, and I know that they all do a lot for their communities. And I know Ray works closely with this community. I know Annie works closely with her community in District 3 here. And I'm not sure if, Alan, do you want to say a few things about, you know, maybe the funding of how we can fund these programs?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
So I know that the new community center and the boxing gym did come through for an ARPA request. And initially we were hoping to maybe use the capital projects portion of it because it would allow for building. However, that capital projects had $167,000 and the request from Natowash was $1.5 million. So that capital projects of $160,000 wouldn't be able to cover the cost for the entire build for the center. And then the ARPA rules is that you can't build a structure with the other part of that funding. So that information will be presented to our leadership this week regarding the different ARPA requests that have come in. That would also be included, or also included in that is the fire department's request. I think we've had 4 other fire departments total requesting different amounts for specific stuff, and that has yet to be decided on as far as the ARPA funds, but hopefully that's something that our leadership can look at and review this week. Miigwech, that would be my update for a portion of it.
Long story short, we're gonna try to get it approved.
Yeah, we're gonna try to approve these 2 requests that you guys approved earlier. One was the request for 2,500 for youth funds for Halloween decorations, and the other one was for 8,800 for our youth, and elder class 2 gaming would be for the Motivation Youth event. So we can approve those 2 today.
I'll motion.
Motion by Alan to approve the 2 requests.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to know, that if these other communities are gonna be involved with this, with the person coming in that the speaker or whatever you got coming in?
The motivational
Are
speaker.
the other communities involved in this? Are they invited or?
So Natowash would be the ones hosting it, and we would ask everybody on the reservation if they want to come, that's fine. Rice Lake can be invited, White Earth.
So can you, contact the Boys and Girls Club then and, let them know that?
That's what we're trying to do.
Trusted that we can bring our students to this. I would really go for that. And then, the smoke machine and everything, is it gonna be available for all communities or just your community or? I mean, I would like to see it be used for all communities. If we're gonna buy one, cause these other community councils are gonna come to us saying, well, Natowash got this, why can't we get it?
Yeah, I don't have a problem sharing at all. So, I mean, we're all one nation, is the way I look at it. It's not separate communities to me, it's just,
Yeah, I think that we can just coordinate your dates for your Halloween parties and move that machine around to the communities. I think that would be a good idea, so.
Okay, second, Chair.
Okay, second by Raymond, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Thank you, Donovan.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. First, any other community councils want to do a quick update? I will go on break, take a 15-minute, you got 2 minutes. No.
Squash Gizik, magazine do them. Vice Chair, White Earth Community Council, brief update, we did receive 9 boxes of skates yesterday we do have an ice rink. We did plan on putting it right by the community center so we could have for the winter, for the kids and adults, to have a warm place so they could drink hot cocoa and stuff to warm up. Other than that, I am going to put a request in for our needs list, same as Natowash, what they're doing with the buildings and whatnot. And that's all I have for this month. Thank you.
Miigwech, thank you for the quick update. And, I know that all the community councils matter to us, and, our children and, the ones that participate in these programs and these educational programs is very detrimental to our nation and to our community. So I appreciate all the work, and I appreciate you guys coming over and doing your update. So right now we'll go on break. I have to go.
What do you do, Todd? I'm Patty Straub, I'm Carrie's sister. Her younger sister. What do you do? That's your shop? Yeah.
So all the hotels are